Madonna's married, to Sean Penn, and then Guy Ritchie.
You know the names? You're wild. You're wild.
What's up, guys? Benny Adams here, Challenge Reality News. I got Kyland and Kyra with me. Sadly, they were eliminated from the latest episode of the Challenge USA. How's it going, you two?
It's good. I'm feeling good, It's an good episode, Sadly.
It was.
But yeah, it was good.
It was a very good episode. I have so many questions that I want to ask you. First off, for you, Kyra, was this a blind side for you, or did you see this coming? Going into elimination.
Yeah, no, I pretty much knew after the daily challenge, Kylan leaned over and he's like, I'm sorry, but we're going in, because just of his history with putting them in, I knew immediately, no matter what I said, because I actually did have a couple conversations with Kayla and Dom, but I pretty much knew no matter what I said, they were putting us in. But I felt good about it because I didn't have money yet. I hadn't won anything. And to have a strong partner like Kylan, I was like, give us something physical and I'm going to win this money and come back stronger, So that's where my head was.
And then Kayla said during the episode that you never really talked game to her. Why didn't you talk game to her? And do you think do you regret not talking game to her? Do you think you would still be thrown into elimination if you hadn't? Because she said that it was an easy decision for her to throw you guys in because of that.
I mean, you have to remember too that all these confessionals are after the elimination's already taken place. So there's a little bit of justification that's happening because as far as Kayla's a smart player, she's also a super loyal player, and she wanted Leo to have his best chance of coming back out of elimination. That wasn't me and Kyra. Everyone kind of knew that. But we also were in separate sides of the house. So as far as the lines go, we were working with different sets of people, kind of adversarial in that. So there was limited conversations for us to have at that stage of the game. So for that specific week, especially knowing that Dom was locked in on sending us in, and that division, it did make an easy decision for her overall. But it wasn't going to be changed by any conversations we had that week.
Yeah, I actually agree with you on that because you both are very strong competitors. And I think they just, like they said, they wanted to get rid of strong competitors. But Kyra, I want to know, who do you think should have gone in if not you two?
Ooh, that's such a hard question. Because honestly, a big part of me wanted to go in. I wasn't even thinking of throwing anyone under the bus. And then, like I said, I had several conversations with them, and I already knew that they were going to go the way that they went with us. But at the same time, like I said, with the algorithm, you never know who you're going to get. And there were still some partners there that I did not want, that I hadn't been partnered up with. So I was like, if this is the time to go in with a partner like Kylan, I was like, all right, cool. Let's do it. So my mind never went there of who should have or who I wanted to go in besides me,
Right. You're just in it. You're like, I'm going to win this. We got this. I'm with Kylan.
Yeah, because even Kylan said it, they never really do trivia in eliminations. And was always my biggest fear. I said it in my first interview of that's what I didn't want. I hated the freaking daily challenge of off the side of the building being dropped terrible, So going into it, they're mostly, very physically challenging. And I was very ready to do that.
Nice. I wanna go back a couple of episodes. And this is for you, Kylan. So a couple episodes ago, you voted in Xavier to go into elimination. I talked to Xavier. He said he understood why you threw him in, but he didn't understand why Alyssa threw him in. Do you agree with him on that? And also, do you think if he was still in the house, do you think you would still be in the house? Do you think you would have not been thrown into elimination because you would have had more numbers? Maybe Xavier could have said something to keep you guys out.
No, you would have to count Xavier as a number for me, which he wasn't. So so people were asking, like, oh, you lost a number. It's like, he wasn't one of my numbers. My number was my alliance of me, Tyson, Angela, Justine. So like, that was the alliance that I was working with. That was the alliance I was tight with. So those were my actual numbers in the house. I don't see, and I think that very similar, like him and I, like, we didn't have, like, we started building back a personal relationship. So on a personal level, it hurt me to put him in because I cared about him as a person. And I wanted to see, I got respect for him. And so I wanted to see, I know that he wanted to compete and everything, but as far as, yeah, my rationale had nothing to do with any sort of, with any sort of past stuff. It had nothing to do with, I love competitors in the game. He's a strong competitor, but like my top competitors in the game were still there. So I had them still. So there was just no boxes. All I had was this person who I don't have great game trust with, and who his best friend wasn't willing to work with him. So like, okay, if his best friend's not willing to work with him, who can I trust? And like for her, I got it kind of too, because the thing they leave out is that, like Xavier said himself, he's like, he plays to win. So since he plays to win, if anything can possibly get in his way, then he is going to make the decision that is most convenient to his game. And it was very possible with all of the strong partners. Like, that was the other thing, is people asked if it was early, and it's just like, it's not early at all, because all of his next partners were people that I wanted to keep in the game. So strategically, if I wanted to get, that was the only time we could do it. Otherwise, I'd be risking losing a female partner who I wanted to keep in the game. And those female partners meant he had a good chance of winning a daily. He's still a pretty good competitor. And if he won a daily and it was not in his best, most convenient interest to keep Alyssa, she had a very legitimate fear that he would have thrown her in if it became convenient. And so, just because he does play to win, and that's why he's such a good competitor, and that's why he's a past winner. So it just made sense, and I don't think it would have been beneficial for me to do anything else.
Oh yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. And speaking of good competitors, Sarah wanted to go into that elimination. She was asking to go into that elimination. Kyra, do you think it was a smart move to not put Sarah into elimination? Because you kind of kill two birds with one stone. If she wins, she's on your side. She's happy. If she loses, she's out of the game. You get a really strong duo out of the game. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think if Sarah went in, I think she would have killed it, honestly, because she's got, strength, and we've already seen her in an elimination, kill it, and really, thought and all put into it very well. So I think she would have came back. And I mean, for me, I didn't really have, much of a connection with Sarah in there. So it wouldn't have really affected me either way, but I think she would have done well in it in general. Yeah.
Okay. And last question for the both.
Sarah wanted to go in to get her money, but then only if it was something that she knew she could win. So like at the elimination, I guess they had a place, and they told us later, like, there was a plan in place for her to ask if it was something that she knew she could win. But like, since you get there and you see this weird structure, you don't know. So like, she didn't want to go in and risk it.
Oh, so if she felt comfortable, she would have gone in to that elimination.
Yeah, if she saw something and she knew, like, hey, this is easy for her and Tyson, then yeah. But like, when you then I'm sure she would have asked, and she had a good enough relationship with Dom that he probably would have done it.
It makes sense now. It makes perfect sense. Last question, you guys. Say you did win this elimination, what would have been your next move in the house for the both of you?
I mean, I would have been qualified for the final. So I'd have been feeling real good, because I hadn't won a challenge yet. So that was my goal going in, is, get that money in, come back even stronger. So I would have just felt, I think, way more confident in my game in general, coming back and having the money to be qualified for a final. So we were close. Madonna, it was the Madonna question that got us, but it's how the cookie crumbled, I guess.
Exactly. And who knows? We saw at the end of the episode, TJ said that he's done with the algorithm. So that could mean lots. Maybe it's different teams, maybe it's individuals. You got to watch the next episode to find out. But we would have had to adapt to the game as it came.
All right, we'll have to see. And last question. Do you know the Madonna question now? Do you know it?
Madonna's married, to Sean Penn, and then Guy Ritchie.
You know the names? You're wild. You're wild.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We as fans, we hope we see you guys on our TV screen soon. I'm Benny Adams. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys later.
Thank you.